Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry about him passing. All right. Got to run. Go over to YouTube, Fisherman in a Box, or go to my wall on Facebook. Peace, love, fisherman out.
Damn thing gon' blind, damn thing gon' blind, yeah, Black Betty, oh, Black Betty, Black Betty, Black Betty, Black Betty, look at here, Black Betty, look at here, Black Betty, jump steady, Black Betty, jump steady, Black Betty, last Monday, baby, I was arrested.
Being African American and being black, Latino people are people of color, but they're not black. They're brown people.
She is a woman of color, but she is a black woman.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that, but is she African American?
To go along with that point, I believe some national group predicted that we were heading for a national nervous breakdown. The anxieties and so forth. Now, when you put on an old movie, it's possible that it'll be a movie made about some social problem, but a problem that was contemporary 6, 7, 10, 15 years, 20 years ago. And that makes it safe.
Oh, no question.
And again, this is the kind of programming that television, national television seems to be, this escapist type.
Mm-hmm. It's reminiscent of television in its early days, when indeed there was certainly a race problem in those days. It wasn't out in the street. It wasn't loud in our ears. It wasn't infesting our gut, our conscious gut as it is today. But by God, there was anguish amongst minorities then as there is now.
I remember that play you wrote, A Town Turned to Dust.
Oh, yeah, well, you see, then you assaulted the straw men who were acceptable as minority groups. Mexicans, American Indians, Eskimos, beaten down, downtrodden peasants under the Tsar. These were the minorities, but not the Negro.
Can someone give me a definition of what black enough is? I don't want to go down the road of the stereotype when people say we're black. Number one, she is a black woman. She's a mixed race woman. When you see her blackness, but she is also South Asian. Her mom is South Asian and her dad is Jamaican.
April, let me listen.
Yes.
More power to her. And I think it's great. That should be enough. Listen, it is enough that she's a black woman.
We are not a monolith.
No.
Exactly.
But
they did the same thing to Ted Cruz.
No. I think you're not hearing what people are saying. The people who are saying is she black enough, that's bull. That's BS. But to want a distinction to say is she African American, or is she black, or is she whatever. There is nothing wrong with that. There is a difference between being African American and being black. Latino people are people of color, but they're not black. They're brown people.
She is a woman of color, but she is a black woman.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No. But is she African American? There is a difference. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is trying to take anything away from her.
Let's go down into her lineage.
I think you're falling into the trap of that. All she had to do was say, "I am black, but I'm not African American."
I know a time when black people were not this way. I now know so many black people that I work with, that I've hired. You correct them, you got to fight with them. You point out stuff, they argue right away. They deny, they argue, they deny. I'm like, what in the world? And they used to just do it to other black businessmen and women owners. But now I think they do it to everybody.
Let me finish. Hold on. I'm not falling into a trap by that. When she goes down her lineage, many Africans landed in Jamaica and all these other Caribbean islands. So she could indeed be African American mixed with other races. But she is
Jamaica's not America.
But she is a black woman. She was born here.
Come out of Jim Crow.
Okay, well let's go into Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was born in Canada.
His father was Cuban. This is not about Ted Cruz. You're changing the subject.
But you know what? We cannot. It was hypocrisy. I'm not changing the subject.
Yes, you are.
She's a black woman. I don't know what you want. Okay.
That's another darn thing about it. Men used to be logical. They understood common sense. They don't argue back at you. They don't try to prove anything. They just do what they need to do. They do it right. And if they're wrong, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I was wrong. But now you argue with the men like you argue with women, especially black men. It's just reality.
Okay.
There is a difference between being Puerto Rican and being Mexican and being Costa Rican.
Yes.
All of them are from Latin America, and that is all fine, well, and good. So what is wrong with asking someone who is of color or black, are they African American, are they Jamaican, or whatever it is, but it's not
she
saying...
She is a black woman in America.
We are saying that. No one is saying she's not black.
Yeah, but
we're asking if she's African American. There is a distinction. There's nothing wrong with asking that question.
To a white man. That's all that stuff is out there.
That's not what that is. You're getting the whole black enough thing.
But that's the kind of stuff that people.
No, that's not. You're missing the point, April.
That's where people are going.
Missing the point.
Go ahead, Doc.
Done during just as timorous a time as any other time. We made a comment on prejudice, on conformity, on intolerance, on censorship. But it's easy to do it when you're talking about Buck Rogers isn't allowed to write his memoirs in the way he wants to write them.
Yes.
So he puts on his backpack, his rocket pack, and he zooms over to the publisher. And they applaud and laugh and think how exciting and interesting. Now, it may well be that the inner message may never get through, but I think peripherally it does get through.
White people, you gotta have white babies. Get married and have white babies. Because if you give up, it's over for this country.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Good morning, saints, and welcome, sinners. This is the Critical Christian Crowd. I am your laconic lay leader, Lon Linky. We are live this morning. Me and stinky old Margaret with the stinky old fisherman here in stinky old Minnesota. So, get yourself a cup of coffee. And we issue this warning to all new cucumbers, all new
Take two, stupid man.
visitors with no sense of humor are advised to turn back now. Management is not responsible for any damages to your personal feelings. Amen. Well, I hope you enjoyed the intro this morning. A couple of little topics to cover within that 7-minute piece. Amazing. I found Rod Serling hosted the Twilight Zone. I'm old enough to remember the days where we would wait for that show to come on. Alfred Hitchcock's Hour. I think it was called Alfred Hitchcock's Hour. Later came Night Gallery, all the Fear stuff. But Rod Serling was quite the social commentator. He was also a well-respected author, writer, playwright. He just dabbled in television because it was a new medium back then. Amazing, right? Television, brand new. You heard him talking about, or his little panel that he was sitting on, talking about the medium being new, and back in the days when television was new, you know, they were going back 5, 6, 7 years, maybe 10 years, to run movies that didn't have anything to do with the current culture or society or the feeling that permeated throughout the Americas. Because let's not forget, folks, post-World War II, 1946, 7, 8, you had the decade of the 50s, and that's where television was birthed. It wasn't until the late 50s, early 60s, and trickled through the 60s that everybody got a television. Didn't used to be like that. The rich family had the TV, and the kids would go to the rich folks' house to see the television, or you'd gather down at the hardware store, and they'd have the television on in the front window. But anyway, Serling's commentary was really eye-opening, especially for me to hear him refer to how they structured their programs, the television programming. And by his words, you can go back and listen to the intro. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you can assault, right? You can assault. You can come after the straw man, right? And he used the term straw man. So they've been working with these illogical fallacies for decades now, folks. These illusionary tactics to try to throw you off, a straw man, a projection. There's 10 of them out there. We'll cover that one of these days. But yeah, he said, yeah, you can use the straw man. You can assault the straw man, and the straw man being the Mexicans, the Native American Indians, the Eskimos, or the downtrodden from I think he used the Russian gulags as an example or something like that. Yeah, but not the Negro. Not the Negro. I'm not quite sure what he meant for that. The second part of Rod Serling's exposition during that interview was the fact that television controlled all of it, and for the most part, it didn't really matter what you said because the meaning of the message was lost in the entertainment. And then, of course, what did he bring in? Buck Rogers and the 21st Century, I think was the name of the television program, all outer space. See how it ties in? So they knew way back then that people were more interested in living in their imaginations, and that the true message of whatever they were putting forth when they assaulted the straw man would get lost in all the glitz and glamour of the story, all the music, the lights. Amazing. Anyway, so that was that part. And of course, I'm gonna replay this bit here with Don Lemon and April, what's her name, because for me, it just more or less summed up everything that's going on and what's important in America right now. Not what's important to half of America anyway, and that's that agenda that they're pushing, that white is bad, black is good. Man is bad, woman is good, and straight is bad, and gay is good. That's the agenda. So you get that whole collection in this little, I don't know what it was, 2-minute piece, 3-minute piece, with Don Lemon and April and two silent white guys sitting in the middle of this 4-panel. And it just made me laugh. So you got Don Lemon on one end and April, I can't remember her last name. We'll catch it here in the replay. Talking about Kamala.
Did somebody call my name? Because I'm not done smoking this weed yet.
In the vice president-elect's color and nationality. They can't even agree on that. And they know where she comes from. She comes from Jamaica. And her dad was black and her mom was Asian, I think, or something like that. So they know. I mean, for Pete's sakes, it's simple biology. It's on her. It's no secret to anybody. Yet, on television, on the TV, we must entertain. We must joke. They weren't even joking. Don Lemon wasn't even joking. They were just confusing. And it's all chaos and confusion. That's all it is. So, anyway, let's take a colorized, Ted Turner colorized version of the Fisherman in a Box Critical Christian Crowd black and white film noir presentation, and let's take a look at it. And it's just, if this isn't chaos and confusion, I don't know what it is,
black,
folks.
People, Latino people are people of color. But they're not black. They're brown people.
Latinos are people of color, but they're not black.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No.
Is she African American, or is she? Don knows she's not African American. He knows that. She's from Jamaica.
What does black enough mean? Can someone give me a definition of what black enough is?
Exactly.
I don't want to go down the road of the stereotype when people say we're black. Number one, she is a black
I'm white
woman.
on the
She's
outside and black on the inside. Does that count?
When you see her, you see her blackness. But she is also South Asian. Her mom is South Asian, and her dad is Jamaican.
April, let me listen. Yes. More power to her. And I think it's great. That should be enough. Listen, it is enough that she's a black woman.
We are not a monolith.
But no.
Exactly.
No.
But they did the same thing to Ted Cruz.
No. I think you're not hearing what people are saying. The people who are saying is she black enough,
Never
that's
argue with
bull.
a gay
That's BS.
man.
But to want a distinction to say, is she African American, or is she black, or is she whatever? There is nothing wrong with that. There is a difference between being African American and being black. Latino people are people of color, but they're not black. They're brown people.
What?
She is a woman of color, but she is a black woman.
Okay, that's why I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No. But is she African American? There is a difference. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is trying to take anything away from her.
Let's go down into her lineage.
I think you're falling into a trap of that. All she had to do was say, I am black, but I'm not African American. That's it.
What? Unrelenting when you get a feminist, an angry black woman with an angry gay man.
Let me finish. Hold on. I'm not.
Look at the two white guys in the middle.
When
they haven't said a word.
Goes down her lineage.
One gets a yes in.
Landed in Jamaica and all these other Caribbean islands, so she could indeed be African American mixed with other races. But she is
Jamaica's not America.
But she is a black woman. She was born
did not
here.
Come out of Jim Crow.
Okay, well let's go into Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was born in Canada.
Ted Cruz.
His father
this is
was
not
Cuban.
about Ted Cruz. You're changing
I know,
the subject.
but you know what? We cannot. It was hypocrisy. I'm not changing the subject.
Yes, you are changing the subject.
She's a black woman. I don't know what you want.
Cruz.
Okay.
Wow.
There is a difference between being Puerto Rican and being Mexican and being Costa Rican.
Yes.
All of them are from Latin America, and that is all fine, well, and good. So what is wrong with asking someone who is of color or black, are they African American, are they Jamaican, or whatever it is, but it's not saying...
She is a black woman in America.
We are saying that. No one is saying she's not black.
Yeah, but
we're asking if she's African American. There is a distinction. There's nothing wrong with asking that question.
To a white man. That's all that stuff is out there.
That's not what that is. You're getting the whole black enough thing.
But that's the kind of stuff that people.
That's not. You're missing the point, April.
That's where people are going.
You're missing the point.
Go ahead, Doc.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, you're missing the point, April. I'm going to say whatever I want to say and change it along the way. And no one can talk or disagree with me. And that's the whole agenda, right? The most tolerant party, the party of inclusion and diversity, of unity, peace and safety. Come sudden destruction, come sudden destruction. Those people don't listen at all. If you don't agree with them, you don't get to talk. And that's what we're talking about today. That's exactly what we're talking about today. They want the white heterosexual Christian man, spirit-led, born-again, God-fearing, God-seeking heterosexual white man, Christian, to shut up. They want him silenced and censored. And they already got the censorship thing working, don't they? That's already working. Because let's face it, folks, we don't have news in America anymore. Not on the TV, not on the propaganda box that's in your living room or your bedroom or wherever. CNN, ABC, CBS, Fox, that's not news, folks. I know for the saints of the subscription and the critically thinking people, they realize, those that do their actual due diligence and research know that about 12 years ago they passed a bill that made it 100% fine and dandy for government propaganda to be projected upon the television medium. So what are you going to do? They made it. They passed the law and said, yeah, the government can use the television to. I can't remember the name of the act or the bill, but it's law. They sneak those things in all the time on you, on me, and nobody knows. Nobody knows. I thought this was a clever title, though. Who ordered the well-done blackened with extra pepper Jamaican KamalaBurger? I don't know. They don't know. They don't know what color she is. I have no idea. So, countdown. Let's get out the countdown clicker here. We got one of those this morning, too. We have, let's see, how should we do this? Oh, the visitors. I don't even know that I can go high enough for them. All right. I don't even know if it'll go past 100. It may not. Because you have 164 days to the alien disclosure, right? And they passed that in that bill, too, for those of you who are newcomers. Yeah. Within that stimulus bill where everybody gets, oh, it does go up past 100. Well, I guess it would for basketball games. Yeah, so it's 164 right now when they have to disclose about the aliens coming. And by the way, a little tomorrow promotion is Elon's plan. Oh boy, Elon's plan. You know he's gonna colonize Mars. You knew that, right? Well, I was privy. All of my sources told me. I read some articles. I watched some documented film on it. And Elon will tell you flat out what he's going to do. So tomorrow, it's Elon's Martian plan, his plan to colonize Mars. And also, there are a couple of clips on space wine. Apparently, they're bringing back some space wine to go with their space grease, their space snorkels, their space lettuce. Outer space. Disney for adults. Yeah. So anyway, that's tomorrow. But it's amazing. And I'll give you a little teaser on that. And that is that they're going to... Here's what Elon's doing. And then I'll get back to this thing. Oh, maybe I'm not going to tell you. Now, listen, here's the deal. I'll give you the cliff notes on it. They have a plan to get people, and this is what I was wondering. They have a plan to get people off of the swirling, twirling, bobbing, globbing, orbiting, tilted, hot molten center, sticky, upside down, sideways water ball. They got a plan to get people off of the ball into outer space, over to Mars, and big numbers, too. Big numbers. I always wondered, how could you do it? A capsule only holds 3. Oh, no, 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 no. As Don Lemon would say. No, they got big numbers and big plans. So that'll be interesting to look into. A little scripture for those of you who are hungry for scripture this morning. This is my favorite one. That's Proverbs 1:24 through 26 right there. I don't know whether you can read it or not. I suggest you view this offering on a iPad and or your giant screen monitor. I can't even bring myself to calling it a television. Yuck. Anyway, yeah. So that's Elon tomorrow, and what a mess. I got another clip here. I promised 2 intros. I got so motivated yesterday and last night. Anytime I do a piece that includes something from the JLP show, Jesse Lee Peterson over in Los Angeles, California, I'm just reminded that it takes one strong man full of conviction and faith and courage and strength and faith to stand up and say something and not take all the nonsense that the world has to offer. When I came into my biblical cosmology awakening, I was searching for leadership. And I was an old guy when this happened. I was 59 when I got that. So I was searching for someone who was a leader within the community. And believe me, I went down many different avenues searching for that one leader. A little testimony from Tuesday right here for the stinky old fisherman in a box. And I almost got misled down that Hebrew roots path because of the silver-tongued, highly 4K presentation in the digital realm offering of Mr. Rob Skiba. And my good friend, the ex-NASA worker, pulled me out of that mess quickly and said, don't do that. Don't do that. There's a pastor down in Alabama. You need to go watch him at least. Please don't do that. So she corrected me. She saved me, and I am eternally thankful once again. And she knows who she is, so I won't go use any names there. But, yeah. And when I found, Dean Odle down in Alabama, in Auburn, Alabama, I say Auburn because I can't pronounce the other name of that town. There's one man strong enough to stand up with conviction, faith, truth, seeking, God-fearing, Bible only, and just contend for the faith, contend for the Word of God, as it's written, in regards to biblical cosmology. Was there anybody else doing it at the time? Not that I could find. I mean, I think Vincent Rhodes is another pastor. I've never seen any of his church offerings, his fellowship or worship offerings, but not many at all. So that's all it takes. And in regards to Jesse Lee Peterson, same thing. One man stands up and says, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is all a lie. And I don't have to testify to the fact that both men, the world comes against you when you do that, when you stand up for the truth. The entire world will come up against you. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, your co-workers. And both of these guys do public offerings. Both of them have very successful digital offerings. They stay the course. And I mean, I'm coming into year number 5 on this now, and I found Dean in year number 1.5 or 2, I can't remember, and Jesse Lee Peterson a couple of years ago. They don't waver. They don't waver. So that's the whole point. You can't waver. You cannot waver. All right. Well, good morning, all you chatsters. I haven't been leaving you alone. Oh, by the way, and the chat will be interested in this. All the wrenches are there, the holy wrenches. Opa Laika. Thank you, Tony. Good morning, Jay Lynn. April's in there this morning. Who else is in there? Kilo's in there. Promise Kep is in there. Lincoln Maniac's in there. All the Spudazu Ecclesia. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Yeah, thank you. And thank you, guys. And it's the KJV's birthday. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Sing it with me, chat. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear KJV. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Thank you, Margaret. I know she'll appreciate that. Margaret back there, my audio engineer, she just sits back there and stares at me. Demon witch with that stupid moose back there, too. All hell is about to break moose. I don't even know what that means. So anyway, be brave, be courageous, stand up, speak up. Don't be lazy. Yeah, I said I was white on the outside and black on the inside. Let me tell you something. I grew up in Iowa and Minnesota. Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa, and then central Minnesota during the summers until I was smart enough and old enough to make decisions on my own, and I left and raised my family down south 40 years south of the Mason-Dixon line in Tennessee and South Carolina. But growing up in Sioux City, Iowa, on the morning side of the city and coming to central Minnesota, the only thing black was night. There were no African Americans. There just weren't. Not in my realm, not in my worldview. So I never had a chance to develop any bad habits of thinking that there was a group of people out there that wasn't, or was wrong, or what I'm trying to say is I don't believe I share the same principle or doctrine that Jesse does. I think there's only good and in evil. That's it. Are there evil white men who hold the black community and black race responsible or say bad things about them? Of course. Is there racism? I don't think so. It's an ism. There's all sorts of isms. And then ism is a social construct that everybody wants to hang their hat on. You have to even know vernacular speaking wise to not do that stuff. It's either right or wrong, good or bad. That's it. So anyway, back to the countdown. So you got 164 days until the government has to officially release all their UFO alien documents. So these next 164 days are going to get interesting. Then you have 4 days until we officially lose our freedom and we all can jump into identity politics, which, by the way, I don't know about you folks, but personally, I'm planning on identifying as, I can't change my age, so I'll go with black, lesbian. Lesbian makes me a woman. That's it, just black lesbian. Speaking of black lesbians, here's the second intro. I hope you enjoy this morning. I tell you what, there's a lot of truth that comes out of this man. I'm going to play this other news piece, too, that just is a reminder that we've been running this Kamala piece since July, over and over and over on Fisherman in a Box. It's not until recently, here, less than a week away from her taking office of the Vice Presidency of the United States of America, second in command behind old Joe. Hey, did somebody call my name? America, come on, man, we got to come together. We got to come together. Somebody put that fire out. Forget it, Joe. So, yeah, Kamala's all in. And here's a reminder, and I'll run this clip, and here we go. All right.
Lastly, I want to address the American people. You're watching an attempt by the socialists to impeach and remove President Trump based on his inciting violence that it's turning out he didn't incite. Consider this.
Some of the success that we've been able to achieve around criminal justice reform would not have happened in recent years were it not for Black Lives Matter. And the intensity and the brilliance of that movement that forced at least that there would be some counterforce to the status quo, which is so reluctant for change, if not hostile to change. They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that they're not going to let up, and they should not.
That was Kamala Harris, Biden's pick for VP. As Antifa terrorists and BLM thugs were burning, looting, beating, and killing their way through America's streets, there was Harris, Senator Harris, cheering them on and saying the violence should continue. But there was nobody proposing treating Harris in the same manner that Trump is being treated. Nobody is advocating that Pelosi, Presley, or Maxine Waters, or any other Democrat socialist who actually did cheer on the violence that dominated 2020, the same unfair way President Trump is being treated. I'm hoping we, the people, learn the lessons that the press and the 10 wayward Republicans didn't learn. I'm hoping we can all see the double standard that is in the process of being imposed on our nation. Socialists can do whatever the hell they want, and the GOP and conservatives must be prosecuted, silenced, and penalized based on completely fabricated charges. The American people should learn this lesson, and they should learn it fast. because the leftists are coming for all of us next.
And he is correct. He is absolutely correct. So we have to surround ourselves with the people who get it. We have to encourage, edify, strengthen, correct our brothers and sisters where we can, because it's about to get very, very real in America. Now, since we're on this topic, let's just go ahead and do the whole thing. Okay, everybody got the calendar dates down? I'm going to take that out. I want to go full screen on this this second intro. So let's take that out. And no one can define BLM, Black Lives Matter, better than our friend Jesse over in Los Angeles. He's over there. That's where it all came from. There's a short history lesson. There's a short interaction he has with them, and then he's been very prophetic so far too. And that's another thing too. Start recognizing men who are prophets and apostles. They're out there. Find them. Listen to them. Don't mock them. Shut up, listen, and learn. So here we go. With that thought in mind, here is intro number 2. Enjoy. And I'll be back.
In the great 1974 film The Godfather 2, there's a scene about halfway through where Hyman Roth and Michael Corleone and all the American gangsters are gathered on a patio in Havana. And it's Hyman Roth's 67th birthday. And he's giving a slice of the cake each gangster. He's got like Louis from Chicago, you run the Copacabana. Frankie, you get the prostitutes. He's dividing up the island among all the American gangsters. And appropriately enough, the birthday cake has the outline of Cuba on it. So he's giving him a slice of Cuba. And while Hyman Roth is doing this, he says, "Isn't it great to be in a country with a government that respects private enterprise?" And that's how media policies have been done in the United States for the past 50 years. And it's increasing in the last 20 years. Extraordinarily powerful lobbyists duke it out behind closed doors for the biggest slice of the cake. The public knows nothing about it. It doesn't participate. And that's the problem we face.
I have with me Patrice Marie Cullors. She is an artist, organizer, and freedom fighter on the Black Lives Matter team. A call to action in response to the way their lives are being devalued. Patrice, welcome to the show and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you.
All right. How did you get involved with Black Lives Matter?
Actually, myself, Alicia Garza, and Opal Tameti, after the George Zimmerman acquittal last year, we created the hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Uh-huh.
And we created that hashtag from a place of grief, but also from a place of wanting to declare that Black lives matter, and that is important that we, as a nation, really look at the problems of race in this country. And then, obviously, this year the hashtag has just taken on a life of its own, and myself and Darnell Moore, we co-organized a Black Lives Matter ride to St. Louis Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
The third week after the uprisings there. And so we organized over 600 people, Black people, to drive into St. Louis and Ferguson. We stayed there for 2 days. And I think at that point, the hashtag was brought back to over 20 plus cities.
That's amazing. And you're located here in L.A., right? No life matter to the children of Satan. Beware of the children of the lie. The liberal media, the Democratic Party, the right or Republicans, the never-Trumpers, the black race hustlers, the black power people, the Black Lives Matter, that Antifa, and those who are controlling them. Life don't matter.
Some people have a lot of wealth and some people don't.
You don't support capitalism?
I think what I support is families being able to feed their children regularly. And I think the current system that we live under doesn't allow for all families to live a life of dignity.
Do you support capitalism?
I support systems that support communities, and in this current government, it's it's not about capitalism or not. I think it's more about who's taken care of and who's not taken care of.
Do you support capitalism?
I'm not understanding your question.
Do you support capitalism or not? She hung up. You know, they're running around saying Black Lives Matter. You have the whites and the blacks and the Mexicans and whomever in the mix. They're pretending, that's all, that Black Lives Matter, right? And some of you are crazy enough to believe it. Black lives doesn't matter in the inner cities. They're killing one another. Like 90 going north. 90 going north. And they've been doing it for a long time. For years. They've been killing and robbing and raping and killing one another. Abortion. Worse than genocide in the black community. I mean, worse than slavery. It is a genocide. Worse than slavery in the black community. Black babies, before they can even pop out of the womb and have a chance. 70% of parenthood abortion mills are in the inner city, killing black babies, unborn children like 90 going north. But yet, you believe this Black Lives Matter. It's all a lie. It's a game. It's to intimidate and to control and take. She hung up on me. She ran. She put her tail between her legs and ran. She is out of LA, so she can't be running that. Let me look over in South Central Way and see if I see that woman. Oh, let me check. Going down Crenshaw, all the way down to Hoover, Vermont. Here is the chicken song from Patrice Marie Colors. Black Lives Matter. One of the founders. This is for you, Patrice Marie Colors.
Answer me. Answer me.
She is gone. Ain't no use of praying for her anymore. Somewhere in the Bible it says that you're gonna have to find a rock to hide behind. I see it now. Also, I've noticed no one talking about taking away your Second Amendment right now. If you give up your Second Amendment, you deserve what you get. Because prior to this, they were trying to take your guns away from you. And this is why. Take your guns, destroy the police departments around the country. Don't let the military come in or the National Guard. You're open. Next thing you know, they'll be putting you in, I don't know. Anyway.
Wow, right? He wanted to say it. Next thing you know, they're going to be putting you in the fill in the blank. Uh-huh.
Black Lives Matter is an organization started by a bunch of fat black lesbians, folks.
God bless you, Jesse Lee. God bless you and keep you safe and strong. 71 years old. 71 years old. He's been doing this for a long time. He has a nonprofit organization called Bond, which is, listen, he takes care of men. He helps men be men. Duck, duck, go it. Most of y'all know who Jesse Lee Peterson is anyway. Anyway, great organization, great little lesson, and it's been building, folks. It's been building. This BM with the L in the middle, this movement, this BM movement with an L in the middle, with a lesbian in the middle of a BM, has been building. And 20,000 over in St. Louis on Trayvon Martin, And then it's just been building and building and building and building. And what you have here now is a combination of the media supporting it, the politicians supporting it, science supporting it, or getting it. And now you've got some sort of, remember Bush's axis of evil? Well, America's staring down the tubes of a cube of quantum quandary. It's a mess. It is. It's an absolute mess. And now it's peaking. I don't know how you get out of it. And in 4 days, the transition will be complete. Unless a miracle from above drops out of the heavens and the anointed one, DJT, and the 17th letter in the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Is that 17? Must be. All of those folks, all of their plans come true. Amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. They're... my messenger box is where I get most of my information, and from, well, it's the only source I get my information from all of you saints in the subscription. Yes, today is the 16th, the 20th is Inauguration Day, so 4 days. But my messenger has been packed with people sending me articles and documented video footage, and I pour over it, and 80% of it, right, 1 out of 5 is of value. Most of it is repetitive. Most of it is imaginative. Most of it is bringing glory to somebody else's channel, and you gotta use some discernment here, as John MacArthur would say. And if nothing else, you have to be aware and just, discernment is good, though. If you don't know, just go to your secret place and pray on things. By the way, I'm changing my channel recommendations. I'm taking Snafu Radio off of the list. I was reminded, too, and what happens is, as you guys well know, a lot of the channels you sub to, the tube of you will remove that subscription, and you not only won't get any of their notifications, you won't even be subscribed to them. So I had to go in and resubscribe to High Impact Videos. You all know who High Impact is. He's a straight shooter of truth. And also, here's a bit of a warning, a word of warning to those of you who are here this morning who may watch this later. I may have to take that back. Maybe the name will come to me. It's a British guy. I want to say it's James something. Anyway, go to High Impact Videos. He does an expose on this guy. Anyway, he's building a lot of steam, and it looks like, to those of us with eyes to see and ears to hear, that this guy is CO, controlled opposition. And you got to be careful out there. You really have to be careful, because now it is. It's a spiritual battle. It is. You got to know the difference between right and wrong, good and evil. You have to know the difference between right and wrong and good and evil. Love them enough to tell them the truth, but you have to yourself know the difference. Don't be telling people something that isn't the truth. So take it to your prayer closet. Take it to your secret place. Talk amongst yourselves. Trust in the Lord, and then all things will be added. How about that? That always seems to work. All right, I'm getting close to the button here this morning. Now, Snafu is. I'm going to address the. Hey, Margaret, I'm going to talk to the chat. Would you care to go over there and talk to the chat for me? Margaret? Moose? Fish on the wall? Anybody want to help me out? Nobody's helping. All right. Yeah, you can, just because I don't recommend snafu, I mean, do what you want, folks. Do what you want. Hopefully I put things out because I'm on that straight and narrow path, but all of you need to do your own research, your own studies, and go to your own secret place. So yeah, snafu is good, but there's not enough time to watch all of them, so you just got to watch what you can watch. Yeah, and I do like high impact, and I always want to recommend channels that are at least on the surface Christian channels. Boy, active chat this morning. It's Saturday morning, and we were in double digits for a while, so congratulations. Good for you there, chatsters. All right, what else have I got here? I don't know. Yeah, the Sunday is Elon's plan, and the space wine, unbelievable. It amazes me, the kind of nonsense that they come up with. It just absolutely amazes me. Just a word of, it's decision time here too with the vacation shot, the shot in the arm. That's a personal decision. If you want to get a vaccine, go get one. Oh shoot, I said the word. Go get one. As for me and this house, we choose not to worship evil. We will worship the Lord, the Most High, Jesus. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to place our faith in Him, not science. But if you want to go get a scientific concoction made up of God only knows what, go ahead. Go ahead. Don't come running back to us when one of your ears falls off and you grow an extra toe. Or dare I say something even worse. And those numbers are out there too. Just duck, go your CDC. Speaking of Pastor Odell, on his channel as well, while you're bebopping around the tube of you, stop by because he did a Dean Odell for Governor piece on the wearing of masks and how ineffective it is, and now what a deterrent it is to your own personal health. It's not a good thing anymore. It's a bad thing. And apparently they've known this for a long time. I wanted to capture that video as well, but I know most of you are familiar with Dean and his work, but if I remember, I'll include it in the comments, but don't hold me to that.
You never do what you say you're going to do.
That's because I'm old and slow and Parkinson's runs in my family, you evil demon witch back there. Margaret. Terrible audio engineer. Ceramic in her presentation. So anyway, go visit Dean Odell, and it's a great, not only is he a man of God, and not only is he a fivefold minister or pastor, which means he's a preacher, teacher, evangelist, prophet, and apostle. He's an outstanding researcher. Goes without saying. You don't write a book like this, right, and not know what you're doing. Plenty of gray matter, easy presentation, good man of God. God bless him and keep him and his family and all the churchgoers who are lucky enough to be able to go on a regular basis. Whew, that fellowship's important, folks. That fellowship is important. Well, see Dean, see those other people. Keep your head on a swivel. It looks like, yeah, that's another good one. Dana Ashley is another good Christian woman. Going to have to make another strong position, and I'm sure a lot of people won't like it. But it's time to focus on strong men. That's all. Strong men. It's not in their nature to be emotional. It's not in their nature to be flippant or, look backwards or look forwards. It's their nature to be real men, spirit-led men, God-fearing men, to just get to the point, get the job done, work, rest, pray. Boom. That's it. And leave the ego out of it, leave the emotions out of it. So from here on out, I'm going to be directing you all to men. But I will give Dana Ashley a nod of recommendation because she's a good daughter of God. But that's about the truth of that matter. I don't have anything else. And you know what happens when I don't have anything else? Boy, that went quick. Always does. Yeah, I got nothing. So when I got nothing, the banners disappear, and I get ready to tell you all that I hope that the peace and joy and rest, comfort, mercy of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ stays with you this day and every day. God bless you all. Happy birthday to the KJV. Thank you so much, the holy wrenches inside of the chat. I do love y'all. I do love y'all. And tune in tomorrow.
Tell them to like, comment, and the other thing.
Yes. Like, comment, and share. We don't want to lose subscribers, but I'm not so sure that we want to add too many more, because so far the tube of you is letting us do what we do so well. All right. So God bless you, saints. That's it. I'm rambling. I'm looking for a piece of music. You'd think I'd be a little more organized, wouldn't you? Oprah, you got anything to add about what should happen to white heterosexual Christian men? You got anything to add?
And they just have to die.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Oprah. Always nice to hear from television's #1 Gaia queen of nonsense and New Age Christianity.
Find a piece of music. Hurry up.
I'm looking. All right. I have no idea where it is. He's not very talented, is he? All right, let's play this one. All right, it's been fun. Thank you. God bless you, saints. I'm out of here. Good night. It took long enough.
Trade this world's glory for the one that's waiting for me. I would miss heaven for the world. This world is a wonderful place, but I'm not here to stay. I'm just a pilgrim passing through, and I'll keep traveling till the time that I make it home. Trade this world's glory for the one that's waiting for me. I would miss heaven for the world. Someday when I get to my home, I'll stand before the throne and join his children in a song. We'll sing about his amazing grace, how sweet to sing it to his face. Heaven is the place where I belong. I would miss heaven for the world. I would miss it for the world. A mansion waits for me just inside those gates of pearl. I'd rather trade this world's glory for the one that's waiting for me. I would miss heaven for the world. I would miss heaven for I'm gonna tell you about the coming of the judgment. Fare thee well, fare thee well. I'm gonna tell you about the coming of the judgment. Fare thee well, fare thee well. There's a better day a-coming. Fare thee well, fare thee well. There's a better day a-coming. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. When you see the lightning flashing. Fare thee well, fare thee well. When you hear the thunder crashing. Fare thee well, fare thee well. When you see the stars are falling. Fare thee well, fare thee well. And when you hear the chariots calling. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. When you see the lightning flashing. When you hear the thunder crashing. When you see the stars are falling. When you hear the chariots calling. Good news, chariots are coming. Good news, chariots are coming. So glad, chariots are coming. And I don't want to be left out. Well, there's a long white robe in the heaven I know. Long white robe in the heavens I know. Long white robe in the heavens I know. I said good news, chariots are coming. Good news, chariots are coming. So glad, chariots are coming. And I don't want to be left out. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well, fare thee well. Fare thee well, fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning. Fare thee well, fare thee well, fare thee well.
If aliens came and they had only that much more intelligence than us, the gap that is between us and chimps, and we have DNA in common, if they were only that, they could enslave the entire earth and we wouldn't even know it.